So yesterday, we went out for pizza at a restaurant. And I have not had restaurant pizza since I began this journey. Stick around and find out if I put weight on. Thank you for joining me here today on Curating My Daily, where I talk about my life, my weight loss journey with lipedema. So yesterday, we decided to go for lunch and get a pizza. And since I follow my rules of controlled flexibility, I have a video about it. If you don't know what controlled flexibility is, take a peek. And I also have my 5 bucket rules. If you've not seen my 5 buckets, I would say take a peek at that too, because these are the rules that I'm following, A, so I don't burn out, and B, it helps me to lose the weight. I am down as of today. Today's April 1st. I think I'm 0.2 pounds or 0.4 pounds shy of 23 pounds. So when we went yesterday, I made sure that an hour and a half before I ate a late breakfast. My breakfast is always 2 organic eggs with organic egg whites and some lactose-free half and half. And then I eat that every single morning. And usually I'm pretty full. And sometimes I throw zucchini into it. And I'm usually pretty full. But yesterday, because I had not been following through on eating my oatmeal, I decided the day before that I had eaten the oatmeal. Yesterday was Tuesday, and I really have to get my fiber in my oatmeal. So I did eat the oatmeal too, about a half hour later, so an hour before we left, which actually worked out to be a good plan. And why? Because number one, the protein first was accomplished with the eggs. That's part of my buckets. And number 2 was the resistant starch, also part of my bucket. My 5 buckets, I try to stick to as closely as possible, but I may let go of 1 bucket, but I make sure that at some point I'm hitting at least 1 to 2 other buckets. I don't know day to day which buckets are working the most and which are doing like the heavy work and some maybe aren't doing anything. I don't know because I don't write down, didn't follow bucket 1 today, didn't follow bucket 3 today. I don't do that. I just follow the rule of these are my 5 buckets. This is what's keeping me sane and on the course. And I am able to do this with controlled flexibility, where I don't need to necessarily follow the 5 strictly. You know, it's not like veganism, it's not like paleo, it's not like keto, where you strictly cannot touch that stuff. No, I can't live my life like that. I tried paleo. I tried it twice. Could not do it. I tried veganism too. Could not do it. This way, I think it's much more sustainable for the rest of my life to be able to do what I'm doing currently. So yesterday I zoned in when they brought the pizza. I zoned in on the 3 little corners. It was a round pizza, cut tavern style, which are squares. And I took the 3 corners, and after 2 hours, I found that I ate 3 of the corners and 1 regular piece of pizza. And that was it. And honestly, I probably could have done without the 4th piece, the square. But you know what? I was there and I was like, you know what? We're here 2 hours. I'm going to just take 1 more piece. So I did. So this morning I woke up and I thought, oh geez, what did I do to myself? I could feel it in my feet. I could feel it in my fingers that I was swollen. Okay, let's go visit Mr. Angry Scale and see what he says today. And the scale was down. So the water weight that I thought I was feeling was not there. Not at all. Because when I got up and I looked at my fingers, I was like, wait a minute, I can actually see my fingers. They're not swollen. But for some reason, I think I was just expecting to be swollen, which is why why I have to take my weight every single morning, twice a morning, once before I void and second right after that. So that way I know what my fluid output is started for the day, like overnight, what that fluid output was. And I keep track of that because I want to make sure I'm not getting dehydrated also. So today, my pre-void weight was lower than the day before, is Mondays, or Tuesdays. Yeah, before Tuesday morning. And I was a little shocked by that. My final number, my fluid output was not as much as it was past couple days. And so my final number was 0.2 higher than my lowest. Now, I know I told you guys that when I got into the next 10-pound group, like you're at 100, then I crossed into 90, I crossed into 80, I would make a video, but I didn't. And I'll tell you why I didn't. Because of controlled optimism. Controlled flexibility, controlled optimism. I had only crossed in by 0.2 pounds. And yes, I'd crossed into it. And yes, I was happy when I saw the number, but I wasn't Snoopy dancing like when I hit 20 pounds. That was a whole different ballgame for me. When I hit 20 pounds, that was just major. Because the reason being is because when I hit that, I was only 0.2 pounds out, and I know how my weight has been going. The first month and a half, like that, it was gone. It was water weight loss. Because my skin was just so firm, and you could just see my fingers were like sausages. And now rings go on that I used to wear ages ago. And I had put a watch on that I was getting ready to put another link into, because it's one of those that fits over your hand and then you have to close it, the clasps. And now it went right on, and now it's literally hanging. It's literally hanging like that. So I know that I have lost water out of my tissue. The rest of this is going to be a slow fat loss, and fat loss is going to take a lot less. It's going to take a lot longer. I'm sorry. It'll take a lot longer than the less time that it takes to lose the fluid that I did. And I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm totally fine with that. But I have to stay the course. And again, if you can do paleo, if you can do keto, if you can do vegan, man, I'm telling you, good on you. I just can't do it. I tried it, can't do it. Can't do it. It's not sustainable. And I'm Italian, so we eat pasta. And although I haven't had pasta in a long time, but if I do, it's gluten-free. And I do make my own gluten-free, homemade gluten-free gnocchis. So I do have gnocchis, but it's resistant starch gnocchis. And following what I did yesterday, and knowing that eating those eggs late, followed up by my oatmeal, really gives me the confidence now to go out even more and eat at restaurants even more. Because I've been holding off. I really have been, because my excuse for me was always, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till I get to 20 pounds. Then I'm gonna go. Then I get to 20 pounds and I'm like, yeah, well, look, I'm doing really well. Why would I screw it up now? But I've had a few episodes, as you guys may have seen videos, where I said I was going to go different places, and I did, and my weight loss was not necessarily hurt. I think at one point I put on a pound, but I knew that was no way fat. I knew that was fluid. At one point I had I still can't believe how I didn't think of this before. I would have episodes on my scale where the next day I would be up 2 pounds. One day I was up 3 pounds. No lie. I was up 3 pounds. And that's when it hit me that this is not fat. I did not eat hardly anything yesterday, but when I reviewed in my head what I'd eaten, I was thinking sodium, gluten, all the stuff that I have now placed into buckets where I can monitor them. And I was a little bit taken back whenever I would hit those numbers, of those higher numbers, because I was just frustrated, really. But now that when I see these numbers, I know that it is water weight gain, and I just need to get the water down. And usually for me, that's like monitoring even more closely my sodium. But it doesn't mean no, you have to have sodium. And you know, that I've spoken to my doctor about my low end of sodium, that kind of thing, and what to look for. So I'm not a doctor. Talk to your physicians if that's what you're going to do. However, going forward, I now know that I can go to restaurants, not panic that, Jesus, what's going to happen to me tomorrow, and get through it. I can get through it. I can maybe even go on vacation now, because I was thinking about going on vacation and I held back because I was like, no, I'm on this weight loss journey. I want to see this through. Maybe I'll go when I hit 30 pounds. I'm 7 pounds away from that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll reward myself with a little trip. Never know. But in the meantime, I ate pizza. And it was good. It was really good. You know, I'd really love to hear from you. Tell me what you do when you go out to eat. Do you just eat and let the chips fall where they may the next day? Or do you do something to help control in some way, shape, or form how much you're going to eat? You know how they say never go to the grocery store hungry? Yeah. Well, my thing is don't go to a restaurant hungry. Eat before I go and know what I'm about to eat. And then I can take the rest home in a doggy bag. Because God knows I used to go to a restaurant and wait for the food to come. Not anymore. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, so that's my story about my pizza. I hope your weight loss journey is going well too. And please like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that you get notified when I put up new videos. Know that you are not alone, and thank you for joining me here today. I'm curating my daily. Now go have a great day as you're curating your daily.